dear viewers. Thanks for joining us on the midday edition of the news. We begin with our headlines. The Cameroon Bar Council will suspend all its activities come November 30th, 2020. The Global Organization of Healthcare Education celebrates 5 years of persistent service to developed countries. 6.5 million votes in Burkina Faso presidential and legislative elections. This is what we will be developing. Stay tuned for the full edition. Good afternoon and welcome back. Following the Bonanjo incident in Cameroon's economic capital Douala on November 10th, where live bullets were fired in a courtroom and lawyers tear-gassed, the Cameroon Bar Association has taken a firm stance against the ill treatment of lawyers by boycotting all court sessions from November 30th, 2020 to further details. More details coming up next in this report compiled by Sandrine Dumbe.
The decision to boycott all court sessions in all courts all over the national territory comes after an extraordinary session of the Bar Council called by the interim president Atanga Bikuna Claire, together with some executive members of the president of the General Assembly of the Bar Association, Barrister Mofao Evaristun Kafu, on November 13, 2020. Revolutions arrived out by the Steam State suspension of judicial honors for the former President Chakunte Charles Patier, which was told to the Douala Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court in Yaoundé, a nationwide strike and a suspension of appearance of lawyers in criminal matters in all the courts throughout the national territory, and also all courts dealing with electoral disputes, including the Constitutional Council. The African Bar Association has lended support to the Cameroonian lawyers' planned strike action in a release signed by the body's country president Stanislas Adjong, while stating that the planned protest is necessary to restore the dignity of their calling. After the November 10 incident, which was provoked by lawyers demanding bail for their colleagues who were arrested on corruption basis, two outspoken lawyers, Barrister Richard Tamfu and Maître Amel Chemenge Kemenge, were later arrested and detained and charged with insulting a magistrate, destruction, and commenting on a matter which is sub judice. The nationwide protest is feared to be dispersed brutally by police, as was the case in 2016 when English lawyers took to the streets demanding a reinstatement of common law values in Anglophone courts. However, the bar decision is yet to meet with any contradiction from the state.
Sandrine Dumbe on that report. The Global Organization of Health Education, of first ever African to sit on the board of prestigious American Society of Neurodiagnostics, yesterday, November 22nd, 2020, celebrated its 5th anniversary as part of activities marking their first 5 years of existence. The body has consistently been providing healthcare education online for mostly African countries. Sandrine Dumbe once more.
Cameroon-born Tigo Daniel Njoyo, the first African to sit on the board of the prestigious American Society of Neurodiagnostics and founder of the Global Health Organization, with the aim of training people around the world in neurodiagnostics with a specific interest in Africa, the GOHE body strongly believes in the realization of their mission and vision, which is providing healthcare education online. Starting their operations in Ethiopia, the non-profit organization has accomplished projects in India and the United States and are gladly introducing their innovation to beneficiaries.
So our organization, a vision and mission for the past 5 years, I strongly believe has been accomplished. We have realized what we intended, which was to use online and very few travels to teach people, healthcare personnel around the world to take care of people living with epilepsy. So we were successful at doing that in many countries. We started in Ethiopia and we spread along in other countries in Africa. We have a good number of people in Africa that we support today.
From 2015 to 2018, students of the Mekele University in Ethiopia were fortunate to have benefited from the neurodiagnostics education of GOHE, while in 2018, the committed team supported the Epilepsy Support Foundation of Zimbabwe. Neighboring Nigeria and Cameroon is not left out, as the team gives back to beneficiaries as it receives its donation. According to Simon G. Griffin, chairman of the Lifeline Neuro, the team in the most committed team bringing sufficient impact to the African continent.
In the upcoming regional elections scheduled for December 6, 2020, the ruling CPD and political party launched campaigns yesterday, November 22, 2020, in the Northwest region, as former Prime Minister Yang Philemon hailed the special status conferred on the restive regions in 2019, describing it as an icing cake of decentralization. With over 1,050 out of 1,088 councillors, the party joined other campaigners all over the national territory to launch campaigns ahead of December 6, 2020 regional elections. Voters in Burkina Faso yesterday, November 22nd, casted their votes for a new presidential and legislative elections held against the background of a spiraling conflict and one of the world's fastest growing humanitarian crises. During Sunday's first round vote, President Kabore first 12 other candidates and told the press, "I call on all Burkinabe to vote, whatever their leaning. It's about the democracy of Burkina Faso. It's about development. It's about peace." According to the Electoral Commission, though the elections went smoothly in the capital with no records of large-scale violence, some polling stations in the eastern areas had to be closed because of the threat. Over 6.5 million of Burkinabes voted yesterday, even though 20% of the country do not expect votes as the territory remains outside government's control. President Kabore's two main challengers are 2015 runner-up opposition leader Zéphirin Diabre and Edi Kombuego, standing for the party of former President Blaise Compaoré. Uganda's opposition president candidate Bobi Wine was defiant Friday after being released on bail following violent clashes between security forces and his supporters that left at least 37 people dead, marking a violent start to the country's election season. 2 days of protests were sparked by Wine's arrest on Wednesday ahead of a political rally in the run-up to the January 14th election, in which he is seen as the main challenger to President Yoweri Museveni, who is seeking to extend his 36-year rule. Wine, a musician turned politician, was charged on Friday with infringing COVID-19 restrictions on large gatherings. Bobi Wine said he promises the people of Uganda that whatever the situation, he will not abandon them on a journey they started together. He said they must finish this journey until they remove a dictator from power, referring to Museveni. Wine is due to appear in court again on December 18th. According to the charge sheet, Wine is accused of an act which he knew or had reason to believe was likely to spread the infection of the COVID-19 pandemic. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for staying tuned till the end. Another edition comes up next at 7 p.m. Stay tuned and good day once more.